few moments later.
Hey, what's up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video, and it wouldn't be a League of Legends video if it didn't involve Doublelift actually. So Doublelift explained why he didn't really care for the first 5 weeks of spring, and a lot of people kinda, took it the wrong way because, let's be honest here, there's just a enormous amount of sensitive ass people in the world nowadays. But to be honest, in this case, I can kind of understand where the people are coming from. TL go 2-0 with Tactical this week. I'll explain that in my LCS Week 6 Thoughts and Opinions, and I know I have to do my LEC Week 6 Thoughts and Opinions actually, but I wanted to kind of cover this right now because I Will Dominate actually responded to Doublelift's little clip in the LCS and the little thing that TL put up about Doublelift in their, I think their last video or something like that pertaining to League of Legends. So let's see what Doublelift had to say, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions about it. And I'm also going to do a video on why Spring Split actually matters. And you guys, if you want to see that video, make sure you like the video as always and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on this situation. So let's see what Doublelift had to say. I have 2 instances of this. So if people say I'm over here clickbaiting, well, you're getting banned. That's just how it's going to work. Because I am the owner of this channel and I have full control over everything. I love having power. It feels real good.
First half pretty much sucked for me and my team. I think everyone's not playing their best, and then for me personally, I feel like I should have put myself at a higher standard or something, but pretty much just didn't care. And then now that we're behind, I think I care a lot more. I think I realized when we started losing a lot that I care about my reputation, and I don't have like an indestructible reputation just because I won so many times domestically. I don't want people to look at my play and be like, wow, he sucks now. Now that we have the rest of the split to go, like 9 something more games like that, the other 50%, I feel pretty good because we're actually in a shitty position, and I haven't been in a bad position like that in a long time. So I really welcome the change of pace, and I like feeling like, oh wow, the pressure's on. We might not make playoffs, or like, we might not especially be like top 2. I think that's like really unrealistic now. And actually, I think like if you just look at the way we're playing, we're not even really a top team anymore. So I think it's really cool. I think I need the stress in my life a bit to feel motivated.
That is absolutely 100% insane. Not the other things he said, but the fact that he said he wanted more stress in his life. I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody wants more stress in their life, but hey, more power to you if that's what you want. But so after this part, I have the other part at which he explained on the TL YouTube channel about the situation, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Alright, so let's watch this.
How relaxed I was for the last month was just a direct result of I didn't really have too much passion for Spring Split. They removed a lot of the importance of it. I think also I was truly waiting for our real roster to come, and I think that's again really shitty for Sharon to be in that situation, but no one can really argue that everyone was playing pretty fucking bad on our team. And I do think, even though I'll be the only one to admit it, it is partly due to you subconsciously know that this isn't the real team, that you're just waiting for the real team to show up, and then you can have this sort of beginning of true practice. I was definitely too relaxed. I think I definitely wasn't taking Scrim super seriously. I was just kind of going through the motions and playing for fun. And that doesn't mean that I was running it down, trolling every game. It just means when we lost, I didn't feel upset. And when we played really well, I didn't feel like this was super rewarding, because I was like, oh, we're gonna have to restart a lot of this stuff with our new team. It's possible that I'm the only one on the team that felt that way, but I felt like everyone on the team was definitely playing pretty bad. So whether or not that's related to us not having our full roster, I'm not 100% sure. But I still feel there's a huge difference between the form that we were in during our Worlds boot camp and leading up to Worlds and playoffs, even last summer playoffs. That version of every player on the team, and then this version, we would stomp ourselves. The one from 5 months ago would own us right now. I know that practice makes perfect, but also I think mindset has a huge factor in it. I don't know, maybe it trickles from top to bottom, because I'm a huge voice on the team, and if people feel like I'm not in it, they're not as in it. I'm not 100% sure. I just feel like it's pretty obvious to everybody we weren't in our best shape. Now it feels like a do or die situation where if we don't have good practice, we're not going to make playoffs, and then everyone's going to be miserable by the end of the split. I do want to change my mindset. I think early on in the split, I definitely didn't have any drive. And now that I do, I have a lot of catching up to do. So I feel actually pretty comfortable because it's kind of like that underdog mentality again. And I really like it.
Okay, so we can kind of see both sides of it. Now, I'm going to give you guys the good and bad part about this. So, this is something that I don't personally like from a certain aspect, because he said that this wasn't the real team. Now, the Surefire thing is the issue I want to tackle on, because them not really trying when they had Surefire indirectly ruins his career. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, what the hell are you talking about? So, it's the same thing that happened with Spica when TSM just threw him in to the ocean with bloody meat strapped to his legs when great white sharks are circling around you, and they're like, good luck, bro. Get looking at that situation, you stupid fucking idiot. That is the issue that they just threw with Surefire, because now people are looking at Surefire and going, well, TL were pretty bad with Surefire, now they have Broxton, now they're a lot better, and whoever of which people he mentioned also didn't care, because he also said that, you know, he's the only person that is probably going to be willing to admit it. It's the bad thing about Surefire, and that does suck for him, is his career he might never actually play for an LCS team, though. That is the issue that I'm having a problem with this. You know, him not actually caring because, you know, he was the best AD carry, still pretty much probably is the best ADC. Let's say if he comes back to form, when you have to rival players like Sven at this point, you know, is not really that incapable of seeing, obviously. He's done it before, but the issue of Surefire probably not going to get an LCS starting spot because of how bad TL looked, because of how they chose to take the spring split for the first 5 to 6 weeks of competitive competition, really does suck for that guy's career. And that's why I don't like when people ruin other people's careers like that. I mean, it's literally something that is very hard to fix. And I mean, you might not never even notice Surefire even on an LCS team. He might have to play Academy for like another year. And, you know, that's a problem in itself, you know. Your actions are going to have consequences for other people. And people actually still need to fundamentally learn that, you know, through life so far. And I will dominate commented on the little DL video, but I'm going to go over that in just a moment. So at least I can respect that he's willing to admit this stuff. I mean, some people are super in denial about anything you bring up to them in anything League of Legends related. Like, let's be honest here, there are still EU fans that think winning Season 1 Worlds actually matters. Like, it is literally is embedded in people to have delusion in their freaking brains, man. Like, at least he has the balls to admit that, you know, he needed a wake-up call. And I would like if other people admit this stuff too, because it really does prove what a lot of people are thinking. You know, a lot of things that I personally think about these players go on in my head, but I can't really exactly say them on video because, you know, I would seem like some cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy black man, but I could already tell he did not care. Like, you guys have to really watch how these guys actually play, how they interact with people on social media. You have to watch these things, and, you know, it's the same thing I said about Cloud9 last year when they got exited out of group stage, you know, for the 2019 World Championship, was that you could already tell they were not playing the same. The cohesive unit was not there. They were already so mad they didn't win the summer split. And you could tell they were already so mad by losing to TSM in semis. Like, you can see these things, and for people not to want change like that is just, it's so mind-blowing at that point. And the same thing with this is that, you know, I think TL needed a change of pace. Sorry he got sick. I don't wish sickness on anybody. He said he's okay. I think on Twitter at this point, he said he's getting better. So that's a good thing. But I think TL needed a wake-up call in general itself. You know what I mean? Like, I think Tactical coming in is actually obviously a good thing. Now, the issue with Tactical being really good at this point from what we saw is this reminds me of being a Philadelphia Eagles fan when Nick Foles got a chance to play for the Eagles, and they were like one of the best NFL teams for the past like 2 years straight. They even won their first title with Nick Foles. Is that sometimes really good players need one shot to prove themselves because they've been waiting for that one shot their entire career. Tactical got that shot. Now if Tactical wants to start on another team potentially, now a lot of the people watching in the scene can actually notice that and go, hey, that guy was actually pretty good on TL. TL was the back-to-back champions, and I think he'll do well on my roster. So there are good and bad things about this, but I'm just really not liking the Surenfire thing, you know, because it sucks for his career. Yeah, it does suck for him. He's probably not going to play in the LCS. Like, come on, dude. But I Will Dominate responded to this, and I want to see what he has to say. So I want to get Doublelift sides of it, because he had 2 parts of it, and I want to get I Will Dominate side as well. Let's go.
Imagine they go 2-0 without Doublelift. I mean, I think it's definitely possible. I mean, look, I feel like it's healthy having a player that cares in. Even if you say, like, in a vacuum, Tactical is not as skilled as Doublelift, the fact that Doublelift, like, literally went on camera and admitted that he just didn't care about the season at the beginning, like, it's so much better to have a player like Tactical who's just going to be giving his all, compared to, like, somebody like Doublelift who's like, oh, Spring Split doesn't really matter, I don't really care, like, I'm just focusing on other stuff, like, winning the split doesn't matter to me that much anymore because I've won so many times. Like, when your player says that, I feel like that's just like, okay, let somebody else play that actually wants to play. Like, no matter how good you are, most of the time, it'll be more beneficial having somebody that cares in than somebody that doesn't care. That's just my...
Yeah, I agree too. I think that it also is explained by how I think Cloud9 has worked. You know, you have people in there where Jack has said on the C9 YouTube channel with their big little interview they had a while ago, where they felt like last year's team wasn't really buying into the things that they wanted to actually do, and that this year's new roster did that, and they're doing incredibly well, and you can see that all the players really care on, and they're firing on all cylinders. They are, what, 12-0 in the LCS right now. They're gonna, I think, and I know they're gonna be 18-0 by the end of the split, because I don't think any of the teams really can contest them at this point. Guys, Cloud9 literally lost their first mid lane turret in 6 weeks here. Just, that's already mind-blowing in itself, but in general, I think I Will Dominate. He has a point. I mean, people call him crazy sometimes. People call him a crackhead. But he has a point here. Like he literally has a point. Just, if Doublelift isn't going to really care about the first few weeks of spring, moving forward for the next spring, if he's even on TL at that point, just don't play him. Just play him in like week 6 or something like that, because that is not a good look for people to see that and go, hey, I really didn't care about this for the past like 5 weeks, so our record really didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something you really obviously don't want to have associated with that. And it's just, I wonder what TL said to Doublelift after this. I kind of wanted to see what he thought about all this afterwards, and we'll have to see. So, looking back toward the tactical situation, I think that if they do have some, like, let's say, inner conflict with Tactical and Doublelift, not like them personally, but more or less so, TL having a revolving door around, you know, switching Doublelift out for Tactical, I think is a legitimate thing we have to be worried about right now. Because these things, when these things happen, I mean, let's look at last year. Sneaky got subbed out for Deathly. I mean, people were really confused about that at that point. You had this happen to many other teams. You know, one player gets subbed out, and then pretty much that player starts at that point. Gilius for Kikis is a really big known one. You have, I can't remember all the other ones though. Bunny Fufa for Smoothie at one point. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So yeah, those are my opinions on Doublelift explaining why he needed he needed a wake-up call about his LCS form, and obviously this explaining why he just didn't really care personally about the first 5 weeks of spring, because he's won it so many times. So what do you guys think about this? I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out.
Hi there guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.